The Kralix Empire had ruled the Andromeda Spiral for 3,000 cycles. Their ships moved through space like shadows through fog, silent, unstoppable, inevitable. They had conquered 47 civilizations without firing a single shot. Their technology was so advanced that resistance was simply impossible. Planets surrendered at the mere sight of their obsidian fleet hanging in orbit, like dark omens against the stars. Commander Velkara stood on the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, the Empire's flagship, watching another world prepare to capitulate. The pale blue planet below was called Earth, and its inhabitants, humans, had been observed for only 3 solar cycles. Primitive, divided, perfect for assimilation. "They're launching something," reported Sub-Commander Threx, his 3 eyes blinking in sequence at his console. Velkara's mandibles clicked in amusement. "More satellites? Communications arrays? Let them broadcast their surrender across their entire world. It saves time." "No, Commander. It's a warship." The word hung in the air like an anomaly. Warship. The Kralix hadn't faced military resistance in over 800 cycles. Most species recognized futility when they saw it. On the viewscreen, a vessel emerged from Earth's atmosphere, trailing fire and thunder. It was crude by Kralix standards. All angular plates and exposed propulsion systems, held together with welds and what appeared to be desperation. The ship bore markings in the human language, UHNS Defiance. Velkara's translator unit processed the transmission that followed. "Kralix vessel, this is Captain Jordan Hayes of the United Human Naval Ship Defiance. You are ordered to withdraw from Earth space immediately. This is your only warning." The bridge erupted in chittering laughter. Threx's scales rippled with amusement. "Shall I destroy it, Commander?" "No," Velkara said, still chuckling. "Let's observe this defiance. I want to understand what delusion drives a species to such folly." The human warship approached at a speed that seemed reckless. Its hull showed signs of hasty construction, welding marks still visible, paint jobs incomplete. It was barely 1/10 the size of the Eternal Dominion. Another transmission came through. "Kralix vessel, you have 10 seconds to alter course. We will not ask again." Velkara leaned forward. "Scan their weapon systems." Threx worked his console, then froze. "Commander, they're not using quantum disruptors or particle beams." "Then what?" "Kinetic weapons. Chemical propellants. Nuclear warheads." He paused. "Commander, these are weapons from their primitive era. Technology over a century old by their own timeline." Velkara's amusement faded to confusion. "They come to face us with museum pieces?" The countdown reached 0. The Defiance fired. What happened next would be analyzed in military academies across the galaxy for generations to come. The human ship unleashed everything it had. Missiles that should have been obsolete. Railguns that operated on principles the Kralix had abandoned millennia ago. And weapons that seemed designed by engineers who understood violence on an intimate, brutal level. The Eternal Dominion's shields flickered, then failed. "Impossible!" Threx shrieked. "Our shields can withstand stellar radiation. How are these primitive?" The first impact struck the port side, then another, and another. The humans weren't using sophisticated technology. They were using overwhelming, relentless force. Thousands of projectiles, each one stupid and simple and devastatingly effective. "They're not trying to outsmart our defenses," Velkara realized with dawning horror. "They're just hitting us, again and again and again." The Defiance swept past, its hull scarred and smoking, but its weapons still firing. On the viewscreen, Velkara saw the human bridge through a video transmission that had been hacked into their systems. Captain Jordan Hayes stood at the center, her dark hair matted with sweat, her uniform torn. Blood trickled from a cut above her eye. Beside her, Lieutenant Akira Tanaka called out coordinates and damage reports with mechanical precision, even as sparks exploded from consoles around them. "All batteries, continuous fire," Jordan commanded. "They want Earth? They'll have to go through us first." The Defiance shouldn't have been able to survive. Its shields were basic, its armor primitive. But it moved with a ferocity that defied logic. It zigged when it should have zagged. It absorbed hits that should have destroyed it and kept coming. It fought like a cornered animal, no, like something more dangerous. It fought like it had nothing to lose and everything to protect. "Commander, we're taking critical damage," Threx reported. "Hull breaches on deck 7 through 12. Our quantum drives are destabilizing." Velkara couldn't process what was happening. The Eternal Dominion had subjugated entire star systems. It had made civilizations weep at its technological supremacy. And now it was being torn apart by a single, primitive, impossible human warship, another transmission from the Defiance. Jordan's voice was ragged but unbroken. You conquered 47 civilizations without effort. You know why? Because they were smart enough to know when they were beaten. She smiled, and it was the smile of someone who had made peace with death. Humans. We're the dumb species that doesn't know when to quit. We're the ones who climb mountains because they're there, who sail into storms to see what's on the other side, who look at impossible odds and say, "Watch this." Akira's voice cut in from beside her. "Captain, we're at 40% hull integrity. Reactor is critical." "I know, Akira, I know." Jordan never took her eyes off the view screen. "Kralix, Commander, you have one chance. Leave Earth space now or we take you with us. Your choice." Velkara looked at the tactical display. The Eternal Dominion was crippled. The Defiance was dying. But in that moment she understood something that no Kralix had grasped in 3,000 cycles. Some species don't fight because they can win. They fight because the alternative is unthinkable. "Helm," Velkara said quietly. "Withdraw the fleet." "Commander?" "You heard me. Withdraw. Now." As the Kralix ships began their retreat, Velkara watched the Defiance limping back toward Earth, trailing debris and hope in equal measure. On that battered bridge, Jordan and Akira embraced, their crew erupting in exhausted celebration. The Kralix Empire had conquered the stars without effort, but they learned that day that humanity had conquered something far more valuable. They had conquered doubt. They had conquered fear, and most dangerous of all, they had conquered the voice that whispers, "You cannot win in the face of impossible odds." 3,000 cycles of easy victories ended that day. The age of human resistance had begun, and the stars would never be the same.